Okay, so this is number 2G of type 2. Here we want to factor a plus 3b squared minus a plus 3b times 2a minus 5b. Now you have to be careful when you're given an expression like this. You might be tempted to expand the expression, but that is not the way to go. Remember, the question is all about factoring. Do not try to expand a plus 3b and then a plus 3b times 2a minus 5b. That will complicate, the solution. Okay, so how do we approach this problem? If you look at the expression, you should see that a plus 3b and a plus 3b, or the a plus 3b is the same for first term or first group and the second group. The groups are basically divided by the operations plus or minus. So this is the main operation. So this is first group and then this is the second group. So the first group has a plus 3b squared. And a plus 3b squared means a plus 3b times a plus 3b. Okay, so if we will factor, or if we'll factor out a plus 3b from each group, then the first group, so remember this is a plus 3b squared, is a plus 3b and a plus 3b. If we factor out one of them, then you still have the a plus 3b remaining. So that means you have a plus 3b, that's the remaining for the first group. And then for the second, okay, if you factor out the a plus 3b, you have 2a minus 5b as the remaining expression. Okay, but note, okay, if we factor out a plus 3b here, we have a minus sign, so this minus, then factor out a plus 3b on the second group, you have this as the remaining expression, 2a minus 5b. Now what I want you to see is that how I still preserve the parenthesis and the minus sign is outside the parenthesis. Okay, that is very important. Otherwise you will be writing your expression as minus 2a minus 5b, which is wrong. Okay, because when you simplify minus 2a minus 5b and this will be distributed, that means minus 2a plus 5b, and it's not minus 5b. Okay, so you have to be very careful. So continuing the solution, so we have a plus 3b, and then inside we have a plus 3b. You can start removing the parenthesis, and then for the second, so that's minus 2a, and then plus 5b. Negative times negative is positive. And then continue simplifying. You have inside, that's a minus 2a, that's negative a. 3b plus 5b is positive 8b or plus 8b. Okay, and then this is already the factored form, but if you want to make the a positive, you can factor out this negative sign. You can write it before the a plus 3b, and then the negative a turns into a positive a, while the 8b will turn into a negative 8b. So the other form is negative, that's negative of a plus 3b times a minus 8b. But this is already acceptable, just in case you have written your solution or your answer in this form. Okay, let us summarize what we have done here, because this is a bit complex. We have a group of expression, or we have groups of expressions. All you have to do is you have to determine what is a common factor. So it's a plus 3b is a common factor. We factor that out. And then knowing that a plus 3b squared is a plus 3b times a plus 3b, then you have a plus 3b as the remaining expression for the first, and then 2a minus 5b as the remaining expression for the second. And from there, you just have to simplify. Make sure you follow the distributive law properly. Negative times positive is negative, negative times negative is positive. Then combine like terms, simplify. If you want to further simplify the expression, you can have this form. Okay, so that's it.